Hello everyone and welcome to Ecosistant. Extended Producer Responsibility, or EPR, is no longer limited to packaging only. While many online retailers are already familiar with EPR obligations for packaging, other product categories are now also moving into the focus of European legislation. One of these is furniture and mattresses. So what exactly are the EPR regulations for furniture and mattresses in Europe? Currently, only 3 countries have active regulations for these products, but the trend is steadily rising. Here's what this means for your business and the steps you should take. Grab something tasty to drink and roll up your sleeves because we've got a lot to do. Let's get started. Why EPR also affects furniture and mattresses. Let's start with what EPR actually is. Extended Producer Responsibility follows a simple principle. Those who place products on the market are also responsible for their entire life cycle, including disposal and recycling. In practice, this means that manufacturers must contribute to the costs of collecting, sorting, and recycling their products. And why do furniture and mattresses fall under EPR? The numbers speak volumes. Every year, Europe generates millions of tons of furniture and mattress waste. Any of these products still end up in landfills or incinerators, even though many of the materials used, from wood and metal to textiles, are perfectly recyclable. That's why some EU countries are rolling out EPR programs for these items to boost recycling rates, reduce landfill waste, support circular economy, and to encourage manufacturers to design sustainable products. Who is affected by EPR for furniture and mattresses? The EPR obligations affect all companies who are the first to place furniture and mattresses on the national markets in Belgium, France, and Hungary. This includes local manufacturers or manufacturers selling to these countries, importers bringing goods from countries outside of the EU, online retailers selling directly to consumers, marketplace vendors on platforms like Amazon, and in some cases B2B suppliers. Important, distance selling counts too. For example, if you are a Dutch company selling mattresses online to Belgian private customers, you will be subject to EPR obligations in Belgium. And where does EPR apply to furniture and mattresses? France is a pioneer. France was the first European country to implement comprehensive furniture EPR. Sellers must register with ecosistant. Products concerned in France are all types of furniture like seating, tables, wardrobes and beds, mattresses and mattress toppers, bedding and pillows, garden furniture and decorative textiles. So your key obligations are to register with ecosistant, report quantities quarterly or annually if you sell under 15 tons per year, which is the so-called small producer rule. Pay EPR fees from 60 cents to 330 euros per 10 unit batch, depending on the product. Label with the Trimon logo and sorting instructions, and submit a 5-year eco-design plan or join a sector-wide plan. Online seller note: anyone wishing to sell in France must register their EPR number with marketplaces such as Amazon. In addition, the recycling fees, the so-called eco-participation fee, must be shown transparently on the website and on all invoices for customers. And Hungary does wooden furniture EPR since 2023. Hungary has completely revised its EPR system. Since 2023, it also includes wooden furniture. As in France, EPR obligations apply from the very first piece of furniture sold. Important obligations in Hungary are to appoint a local representative in Hungary, to register with the Environment Authority and sign with the national take-back system, further to file quarterly quantity reports and pay 17 forints, which is around 4 cents per kilogram of wooden furniture. If you would like to learn more about the Extended Producer Responsibility Representative, I recommend watching our video on the topic. You can find the link below in the video description. Belgium has mattress EPR since 2021. Belgium has introduced a separate EPR for mattresses, A national EPR system for mattresses has been active since January 1st, 2021. Anyone placing mattresses on the Belgian market for the first time must register. Key obligations here are to register for the Belgian EPR system for mattresses starting from one sold mattress, annual quantity reporting, EPR fees, which in 2025 are €4.25 for kids mattresses, €8.50 up to 120 centimeters and €17 over 120 centimeters, all including VAT. Retrospective registration, those selling since 2021 but registering later owe fees retroactive to their first sale after 1st of January 2021. And information responsibility, sellers must inform customers, online and offline, about return and recycling. But there are some special rules too. Anyone who sells mattress covers or cores separately, so not entire mattresses but their components, is not subject to the EPR. Sofa beds count only if the mattress can be removed, and manufacturers are entitled to compensation of €600 per ton for discarded mattresses that they collect from their customers. However, in this case, customers are not entitled to compensation. Let's have a look into the future as more countries are joining in. EPR for furniture and mattresses is spreading in Europe. In Portugal, for instance, Decree 24/2024, Article 87, specifies that from end of 2025, manufacturers must arrange environmentally sound collection and disposal of these items. By 2026, at least 25% of sold goods must be collected. This needs to reach 40% by 2030. Now let's get down to business and clarify exactly what needs to be done to be EPR compliant. Step 1. Register with the right system. In France, that's ecosistant. In Hungary, via your local representative who takes over registration with environmental authority and take-back system. And in Belgium, there's a mattress EPR system. Registration must take place before you sell your first products in the respective country. Subsequent registration is usually possible, but often leads to retroactive fees. Step 2. Report quantities and manage data. In France, quarterly above 15 tons a year, and annual with less than 15 tons a year, in Hungary quarterly, and in Belgium annually. Important, you must provide precise data on quantities sold, product categories, and in some cases, material compositions. Structured data management is therefore essential. Step 3. Calculate and pay fees. In France, there are tiered fees depending on products, from 50 cents to €330 per 10 units. In Hungary, that's 17.14 per kilogram. And in Belgium, there's a flat mattress rate from €4.25 to €17. Include these costs in your calculations. You are generally allowed to pass them on to the end customer. After receiving the invoice from the respective system or compliance officer, you settle your debts. Voila! You have successfully fulfilled your EPR obligation. And don't forget labeling and consumer info. In France, Trimon logo with sorting instructions on the product, packaging or accompanying documents. In Belgium, information about take-back options in sales outlets and online stores. And in Hungary, there are no special labeling requirements for furniture and mattresses to date. Special case W3E for furniture with electronic components. Furniture with embedded electronics such as LED lighting, electric motors or Wi-Fi poses a particular challenge. It may require dual registration, both for furniture EPR and W3E compliance. And when do both regulations apply? W3E for furniture comes into effect for the following products: height adjustable desks with motors, illuminated furniture, electronic massage chairs, smart home furniture and mattresses, and refrigerated furniture. And what does this mean for online retailers? For such products, you may have to register for both the furniture EPR and W3E in France and Belgium. The fees are incurred twice, and you must fulfill both reporting obligations. Our recommendation: check whether there is a double obligation when selecting your products and factor in the additional compliance costs. And what happens if you're non-compliant? Of course, there are legal penalties. Non-compliance with EPR obligations may result in penalties. In France, companies pay up to 7,500 euros per ton or unit and daily penalty payments totaling up to 20,000 euros until compliance is achieved. In Hungary, a surcharge of 50% of the EPR fee applies for late or missing quantity reports. Late payments are subject to the central bank prime rate plus 8% interest. And in Belgium, the EPR system reports companies that are not compliant to the regional authorities, which can then impose fines. Be aware of platform risk for online marketplaces. Particularly critical for online retailers, Amazon, eBay and other marketplaces are increasingly demanding proof of EPR compliance. If you are unable to provide the relevant registration numbers, you may be at risk of listing removals, withholding of revenue, and even complete account suspension. Warnings under competition law. Competitors can also use EPR violations for competition law warnings. This is because retailers who are not compliant gain an unfair cost advantage as they do not pay their EPR fees. Conclusion: stay compliant and stay ahead. EPR for furniture and mattresses in Europe is no longer a future scenario. It is already being implemented in 3 countries and is expected to spread further. For online retailers, this means what currently only applies in France, Hungary and Belgium could become standard across the EU in the future. The European Commission is working on harmonizing the EPR systems, which could lead to more uniform regulations in the long term. Other product categories, such as textiles, are also on the agenda of various EU countries. Therefore, compliance is becoming a competitive factor. Companies that become EPR compliant at an early stage get an advantage. No surprises during marketplace inspections, predictable costs, no punitive hits later, and clean market positioning vis-à-vis customers and competitors. At Ecosistant, we are your partner for easy EPR compliance. The complexity of the various national EPR systems makes it difficult for sellers to keep track of everything. Ecosistant supports you in becoming and remaining EPR compliant, from initial registration to ongoing quantity reporting. We take care of W3E registrations in all relevant EPR systems, ongoing volume reporting and data management, advice on product-specific issues, monitoring of new EPR developments in Europe, and support with EPR for packaging and textiles. Just ask for free and without obligation. You can find the contact form in the video description. We also have a FAQ with the most frequently asked questions about furniture EPR in our blog for you. You can find this link in the description below too. That's it, done. That's all for today. I hope you found the video helpful. If so, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to stay up to date. See you soon.